Today, we will talk about how to respond to a dry text from a guy. Let's have a look at the details. You're texting a guy you like and he starts sending one-word texts, takes forever to respond, or doesn't respond at all. All three of those things are classic signs of dry texting. Dry texting can mean that he's not super into you, but it could also mean you just have to change up your texting strategy a bit to get him interested enough to text back. We'll walk you through texts you can send to fix a dry text conversation, check his interest, and know when to leave the conversation. Keep watching for the ways you can respond when a guy sends you a dry text. Pinpoint the reason behind his dry texting. He might be busy, he might not like texting, or he might not be into you. Dry texting is incredibly frustrating, but try to be patient for the first couple of short texts or long response times. If he starts the conversation up again or starts sending more detailed messages, he was probably just busy. Restart the conversation by bringing up his interests. He might dry text you if he's not feeling the conversation topic. Send the ball back into his court by getting him talking about his interests. It's even better if you can find a common interest and start a conversation from there. Use a playful question to fix a texting rut. He might just not be in the mood to talk about school, work, or his day. A fun question can add a little spark and turn your conversation into a game. Mention a fun memory to remind him of your connection. Start a text with something like, "Remember that time when we..." If you've met in person or have been on a few dates, use that common experience or an inside joke to reignite the spark. Send a photo to give you more to talk about. Take a pic of something exciting or interesting from your day. A photo can shake up the rhythm of your conversation, especially if his replies are getting boring. Just steer clear of sending private photos unless you know you're both comfortable with that. Gauge his interest with a little flirting. If he responds positively, you don't have anything to worry about. Plus, once the positive vibes are flowing, he'll be more likely to respond with longer, more interesting texts. Check in with his feelings about texting. Some guys send dry texts because they aren't fans of texting, so keep in mind a dry text doesn't immediately mean that your guy doesn't like you. See if he's down to call or video chat. Send one of these to figure out whether it's time to leave the conversation. "I'm feeling old school tonight. Want to call?" Texting can get boring. "Wanna call instead?" Ask if he wants to hang out IRL. Figure out if he likes you by being direct. If he says yes, you'll know he's serious about meeting up. Prevent dry texting by sending more specific questions. Steer clear of yes, no questions that let him respond with a one-word answer. By getting specific and changing up a pretty standard question, you'll get a better answer from him. From there, you can build deeper conversations. Coach a bad texter by telling him what kinds of texts you like. Use this approach for a guy you're already dating. He might not realize that his dry texts bother you. If you're just getting to know each other, you're both figuring out what makes the other person happy. Give him compliments when he responds with longer texts, and tell him what you'd prefer when it comes to his texting style. See if you can find a way to communicate that makes you both comfortable. Don't respond at all if he keeps dry texting. In a good texting conversation, both people put in equal effort. One-word texts or dry responses don't show a ton of interest, and that lack of effort can even be rude if he sends dry texts all the time. You don't have to reply when a guy sends you dry texts or doesn't look like he's doing his part to keep the conversation flowing. Thanks for watching this video. Please don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel if you like our videos.